my favorite things to put out when I entertain is a cheese and meat board or charcuterie board. I love finding combinations of cheeses and meats and different flavors to make it really interesting. And let's face it, at a party, people always love a place where they can just go and nibble. I've learned over the years that I've been making these types of trays or boards, there are certain cheeses and meats that always seem to work. So I thought I would demystify the idea of doing a meat and cheese board for all of you, and maybe these tips will help you the next time that you entertain. So let's start with the cheese, my favorite part. I love cheese. It's probably one of the hardest foods for me to give up if I had to. When you do a meat and cheese board or just a cheese board, it's important to have variety in texture and in flavor. You don't want all soft cheeses, you don't want all stinky cheeses, you don't want all firm cheeses. So here are the cheeses that I like to use just to give you an idea. Ideally, 3 to 4 cheeses. I'm going to do 4 cheeses today. So starting out with a firm cheese, we're going to do this delicious cheese that actually has been soaked in a raspberry malt. So it's a firmer cheese similar to some types of provolones or an Asiago, but it's gonna have that little bit of berry. So it looks pretty, which I love, and has really great flavor. On the other side of that, we're gonna do a stinky cheese, all right? So this is going to be your blue cheese. I love the combination of this raspberry flavor with the blue cheese. I think they play off of each other really, really nicely. They look very different on the board, and there are some people who really love that bite. This is just a mild blue cheese. I tend to go for the milder versions of that because sometimes it can be just too pungent, and you're trying to appeal to everybody. I think your safe bet is always add a cheese that you know everybody will like. And let's face it, that's usually a cheddar. But don't do mild cheddar. They don't really have much flavor. I like to do a medium cheddar, so it has just a little bit of sharpness to it, but not too much bite that's gonna compete with anything else that you have. And then finally, let's do a soft cheese. It could be brie. In this example, I'm doing a goat cheese that actually has some cranberries, some cinnamon, it's a little bit of orange. So really gorgeous flavor. Easy for people to come up and spread on a cracker. And now I have a variety of a firmer cheese, an all-American everybody likes cheese, a little more sophisticated with the blue cheese, and that creamy smooth cheese with the cranberries. Now it comes time for the meats. So what are we gonna do? Again, texture, flavor, important. I have to tell you, pepperoni is always a hit. So you can do turkey pepperoni, you can do regular pepperoni. If you like to buy the kind that you slice yourself, fine, no problem. This is already pre-sliced, it makes it easy. When you're entertaining, you wanna do things that look great but are a little effort. So there's nothing wrong with buying the pre-sliced versions. So there's your pepperoni that has a little bit of tang to it. Then I usually do a mild salami. This is a Genoa salami. Again, just kind of layer it around on top of each other. Take your slices and put them out. I like to do kind of across from each other because you never know where somebody might be standing. If you have this at a table or an island where people can be at all different angles. Or in the case of this board that I'm using, it's great to have this Lazy Susan so you can kind of move it around to get what you need. The last type of meat I'm going to use here is prosciutto. And I love prosciutto because it's thin. I love it because you can kind of nestle it up. I usually buy 1 pack of it or have it fresh sliced at the deli counter. And you don't need a lot of slices because you can cut those larger slices in half. It gives you twice as much. This is a tangy, slightly saltier type ham. Really easy for people to pick up and use with their crackers, and delicious with all kinds of cheeses. It also plays really nicely if you're going to be adding some fruits to your board, which we're going to be doing in just a second. So just sort of tuck in your slices of prosciutto. All right, so now we have meats and cheeses. Pretty good start, I would say, right? But let's fill in with some other things. I'm going to actually take some of my cheese here and create a little space so that I can put in a couple of things. We have cheese, we have meat. You need something a little savory. So I love doing savory crackers. These I actually made myself using some different spices with an oyster cracker. And also don't be afraid to put other little bowls and things that you have. That's a nice, easy thing for people to grab and munch onto. Dried fruits. This one's already ready to jump on the board. This is a dried apricot. I love them for their color. Nestle a couple of them in different spots around your board. I think the key is not to just sort of put everything all in one space. You want it to look a little random. And I think that looks just gorgeous. The next one, grapes. Everybody loves them. Instead of putting the one big bunch down, do little groups so that people could actually pick up the whole little bunch of the grapes if they would like to and put that onto their plate. So we'll put those around, nestle them in where you see you have openings. And then finally, this is one of my favorite things. This is a nut from the Whitley Company, and I discovered these at my local grocery store. They are fabulous. They have all different flavors, and I love this smoky habanero chili lime. It's salty, has just a little bit of heat to it. It's an easy grab and crunch, and I think it makes a nice addition to the cheese board. Let me move those aside and nestle that in there. So there you have it. Easy steps. Remember, variety, texture, different levels of heat and flavor, a little bit of smoothness with fruit, a little bit of crunch with savory crackers and nuts, and you will be an entertaining pro thanks to the help of a beautiful charcuterie board.